Hi everybody, welcome to Citizen Survival Plan. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Radioddity QT40. Now, I am a ham, but I primarily use this for CB. This thing, in my opinion, is pretty much just set up to be a CB radio. In fact, it already has all the CB radio frequencies inside of it. Now, to convert this over to a CB radio, because this is actually technically a 10-meter radio, but most people use 10-meter radios to do CB because of their added power. If you were to buy a radio that looks pretty much just like this, and it's called a CB radio, it's going to be limited to 4 watts or 12 watts on SSB. This radio also has SSB, but it puts out 40-ish watts of power. So way more power than your typical CB radio. And that is the entire point of this. One quick thing I want to cover here is we just have this hooked up to a cheap $80-ish power supply. So that is how you would power it. One thing that I always find aggravating about CB radios and base stations or whatever in general is this wire here actually has to be cut to the terminals. So you have to cut your own terminals and put them on. I don't know why they don't just send it with the terminals cut, but they don't, and just a little complaint from me. Let's go ahead and cut to a clip of me disassembling this. I will show you how this actually converts to be a CB radio. So we need to get into the bottom of this radio. There is a screw there, and a screw here and here on the other side. We're simply just going to remove those and we'll gain access to this unit. When I first got this, I was almost going to pull this out, but that is the speaker. Don't rip that out. My bad. One more screw right at the back. I'm not sure that needs to come out the whole way. Yeah, it does. Alright, 5 screws, not 4. But, same thing. Comes out. Watch that speaker wire. Right there. Don't rip on it. I'm probably just going to set that. Like that. So this is how it comes. This is in 10-meter mode. You could see the front pin is exposed. We are just going to take this jumper and set it so the bottom pin is now exposed. So the jumper just goes to the 2 closest prongs closest to this box here. That is pretty much the entire conversion to make this a CB radio and not a 10-meter ham radio. Let's put it back together. I'm probably not going to show that. You should be smart enough to figure that out. Okay, now that we have done that, to access the CB radio functions, I am simply going to go to band D on this knob. I'm going to switch this. That's weather. But the L band up here. And you're going to see all 40 channels of CB frequencies. So just to show this off, there's channel 20 on this. And then we also have a handheld CB radio. And I'll go ahead and transmit to it. Here, see, I'm real close, but I know that I'm on the CB channels here, and I also can do whatever I want here as far as modes. I have AM, upper sideband, lower sideband, and I actually have an FM feature on this. I don't think there's a lot of people on FM on CB, or at least from my experience, they typically are on AM because most older CB radios are AM only. So let's go over this front panel real quick. This radio is really simple. Obviously that turns it on. That's your volume. Inside here is squelch. Here's your fine adjustment for when you're using the sidebands, upper or lower. This really allows you to tune in right on frequency to somebody using upper or lower sideband. The band, like I said, we're on D because we've modified this to be a CB. And then the power is here. and it goes basically from, I guess, 1 to 45. And then this is simply just your channels. So CB is 40 channels, and you get all 40 channels, and you get 4 modes. Super cool, inexpensive radio if you're looking to get into CB radio. This is how I would do it. I would not waste my money on a CB radio simply because of those power restrictions. Now, I know a ton of people love to be rule enforcers on YouTube. I'm not really sure why, but as long as you are not blasting, I don't know, 2,000, 5,000 watts of CB power and aggravating everybody in the United States, pushing 40, 45 watts of power on CB is really going to alert the attention of absolutely nobody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.